Hello. So I believe that there should be term limits in Congress. The first thing that convinced me was in the video Congressional Term Limits. They talk about how the interviewer talked to a Republican congressman named Tom Marino, and he basically said how the longer people are in this Washington bubble, the more detached from the average American mindset they get. And that shows us how as people stay in Congress for longer and longer, they no longer have that American thought process in their mind. They have the thought process of how it will just affect them and Congress and government and not America as a whole. Secondly, in the video Donald Trump and Term Limits, it talks about how corruption has started to take over Washington, and Donald Trump says it's time to sweep corruption out of Washington. And that shows like how in the last one, the people who have been in Congress for so long has lost that American mindset, and that has caused the Congress to become corrupted. And so it's time to sweep them out and replace them with people who still have that American mindset and won't be corrupting Congress and the whole government as a whole. Lastly, we have already seen how some states have tried to impose term limits on Congress, and how in the article Term Limits in the United States, you can read how 20 states out of 50 have already tried to impose laws on legislation for term limits, and that's just 40% of the nation. And with all of that being states individually not coming to it together as a whole, I believe it is fully possible to go from that 20 to the 38 needed to actually make it happen. Now, I understand how some people may say, oh, Congress shouldn't have term limits, and they may say that because in the article, term limits for Congress probably are never going to happen. In that article, they can read how it's not constitutional, but the truth is, it's neither constitutional nor against the Constitution. Like, it does not directly say in the Constitution, hey, term limits for Congress we're fully against it, you cannot do this. But it also doesn't say, hey, yeah, we fully support this, this is in the Constitution, you can fully do this. It's all dependent on perspective. Both are very valid answers. But that is why I fully believe Congress should have term limits.